Welcome to Native Bidaské, Native News Online's weekly spotlight on the people making news and leading change in Indian country. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, the American Dental Association, for making this live stream possible.
Welcome to another edition of Native Bidaské. I'm Levi Rickert, publisher and editor of Native News Online. And recently, Dr. Darlene Sorrell, who is the first Navajo dentist ever, is with us today. And she is actually a co-founder of the Society of American Indian Dentists. And she just recently won an award from the Dental Quest, the Health Equity Heroes Award. And so welcome, Dr. Sorrell. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me to be a part of the show.
And congratulations on your award. Tell us about the award.
Well, my understanding of the award is that it is given to individuals who are trying to make an impact in a community where funding is limited. And I am very honored to have been recognized. However, I feel like I'm cheating those that are out there also making a difference. The other board members, the dental director, Tammy Wagner. I feel like I need to acknowledge their contributions in all of this effort. I've been a part of being the president of Nizhoni Smiles for a little over a year now, but they've been a part of the program for a much longer time.
Well, tell us about your long career. I was reading your bio, and I was very impressed in the idea that you are the first Navajo to become a dentist. What even inspired you to become a dentist?
Well, as you probably can relate, my parents never took us to the dental clinic. There was 9 of us. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. And it was just something that they never did. And their philosophy was if it hurt, then you went into the clinic. And usually it ended up having to have a tooth removed. But that was kind of what they experienced themselves. And that was what they expected. So one day in middle school, let's say 3rd grade, it was in middle school, they did screenings, and they did it every year. A dentist would come in and do screenings. They'd fill out a little paper. They'd send it home to your parents. And on the piece of paper, they always recommended a checkup, cleaning. And one of the years during the screenings, they mentioned, if you brush your teeth, the bleeding will stop. Your gums will stop bleeding. And so that just caught me, like, is this really true? So I found a toothbrush. We didn't always have toothbrushes available in our household. And I brushed my teeth, and lo and behold, the bleeding stopped. And from then on, I was like, what else do I not know about, teeth and that you really don't have to lose them. You can keep them for the rest of your life. And then I did end up paying for braces myself. And I think that it just continued to grow. And when I went to undergraduate, I knew that was what I was going to pursue. Didn't think I would succeed, but I knew that would be something I'd pursue.
That is beautiful. And my sister, Dr. Jessica Rickert, who's the first female American Indian dentist, and you two have been friends, and I kind of know her story as well, and I just find it so remarkable. You're almost like pathfinders, both of you, because when it happened, it was a long time, 40 years ago for my sister, around 40 years ago, and well, tell us about your career. Now, you worked for Indian Health Service at one point.
Yes, I've worked for Indian Health Service for 37 years.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time. And it went fast for those of you that are just starting out. And I did not want to work for Indian Health Service initially because I felt like they were too federally run, that it was a federal program and they would not have the sensitivity that was needed for American Indians. But they were the only show in town. They were the ones providing the majority of the care on the reservations and to American Indians. And so because of that, I thought, maybe I can make a change if I just put in the time. And so I joined right out of dental school, and I stayed for 37 years and retired May of 2022.
Well, that is fantastic. What a very distinguished career. And um, what would your advice be for young Native Americans who aspire to be dentists? And you would endorse them going over the IHS, correct?
Well, actually, right now, a lot of Indian Health Service clinics are also tribally run, which is great. I think more than 50% of them are now. But
Yeah.
as you know, there's also private practice out there, and I'm a part of a nonprofit clinic, and there's FQHC programs. There's all sorts of dental schools, all sorts of options that are available once you get your dental degree. So that would be my recommendation, is just don't let any barriers get in your way to becoming whatever it is that you want to do. Dentist, dental hygienist, dental assistant.
My understanding, there's about 430, maybe 450 at the most, dentists
Yes.
who are Native American. And as we know, there are 574 federally recognized tribes. So that's not even one dentist per tribe.
Right.
So there's still a lack of Native Americans who are dentists. And how do you encourage young people to explore the dentistry field?
Well, I think we have to get started really, really young. If you know little young kids, even preschoolers, if you show them teeth and you give them a toothbrush, they know what to do with it. Kind of just putting that thought in their head of, is this something you're interested in doing? And if not, at least they can get the idea of the toothbrush being in the mouth. I think we really have to start early. I used to think that maybe high school, but I think we need to start earlier than that. And just exposure, just breaking down the barriers that might be in the way for shadowing in the clinic, for talking to you, having an open door is really important. Right now, where I'm currently at, I have at least three pre-dental students that have shown and have demonstrated that they're very, very interested in becoming dentists, and then also hygienists. And just saying, if you need me, I'm here. And
Wow.
I think that's what Society of American Dentists did for me, and Dr. Blue Spruce did for me. And Jessica, for those that she's had contact, is just being there, breaking down any barriers that might be in the way. And, whenever they feel like they can't do it anymore, just saying, okay, well, take a breather, but come back to your goal.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to our platinum sponsor, the American Dental Association.
Now, Native News Online, we've done some work with the American Dental Association, and I've interviewed several students who are about to become dentists who are Native American, and maybe even 1 or 2 year actually practicing dentists and who are Native. And I find it fascinating because you mentioned a little while ago that even you had to overcome even doubting yourself to become a dentist, and that comes up quite frequently. How did you overcome that self-doubt? Like, hey, can I really do this? And how did you get past that threshold?
I had alternatives. When I went into the undergraduate, I met all my requirements, but I did say that I went into medical technology, and if I didn't get in, then I was going to work for a year and reapply the following year. And Society of American Dentists, Dr. Blue Spruce, and those that were part of that, they were also there. And they just having somebody say you can do it is really important. one of the things that I do recall is that my parents never discouraged me from doing what I wanted to do as far as education. And when I went off to dental school, my mother never talked about prejudice, or she never discussed, unconscious bias. Um, it was just something that, she experienced, but she never passed that opinion on. But one of the things that she did say when I went off to college, off to dental school at Oregon, is people are going to think they're better than you, but they aren't. And just her saying that helped me, because yes, you come upon that throughout your entire lifetime. If you're a minority, or even a woman minority, you have those instances when you are exposed to that type of opinion. And so her just telling me that, Society of American Dentists just telling students, it's okay, you are as equal to anybody else out there, and we're here to help.
I really like that, because I just am a strong believer that parents need to encourage their children to succeed. And I have never told my children, and I think I borrowed from how I was raised with our mother, never tell them they can't do something. And if they set out their goals to achieve, go for it. And I'm one of their best cheerleaders when that happens, and they all are successful today. But that's good advice for you. I appreciate what you said about your mother. So often parents really are the biggest influencers in our lives. So that's really, really important. So you were on Native America Calling recently, and you were out encouraging young people to become dentists, right?
Yes.
Well, that's great, and keep it up. And I know my sister Jessica does the same thing, and she'll even say, Levi, even if they don't, not everyone's going to become a dentist, not everyone's going to become a doctor, but if they just even get involved with STEM, there's so many other other careers within the health field that people can still make a really nice living. And not everyone's going to be a doctor. We know that. Not everyone's going to be a dentist. So, but that's good advice. So tell us about your work now in the Navajo Nation.
I'm at Nijoni Smiles, which is the only nonprofit on the Navajo Nation. I've been a board member there for approximately 10 years. And when I retired, they are in a recovery mode right now from COVID.
Sure.
And they advised me that they could not find providers. And basically, if they can't find a provider, they're going to have to shut down. So I started traveling there. I travel there about 3 to 5 days a month. It's about 200 miles. And the reason why I don't think I'm a hero alone is I have a pre-dental student, Ivana Bennett, who drives from Tuba City over, which is another 200 miles from the opposite side of the Navajo Nation, and assists me. And I have another pre-dental student, Tylene, that drives from Lekutchke, which is several miles from Shiprock, where the Nijoni Smiles is located. So it's an opportunity. If somebody wanted to shadow, they could do that, or if they wanted to assist, or if they wanted to be exposed to the dental program, it's available. I also have a concept paper where we would want to teach just the common individuals, to teach about dentistry, to teach about brushing, to teach about how decay happens by the bacteria, to teach about decalcification, which is the scarring of the tooth structure when a person doesn't brush, those type of things, which we want to teach the community to teach themselves. I do have a concept paper, and I'm seeking grant funding for that, and also developing a dental assistant program. Just like I mentioned, they are in a recovery phase, and it's 2 parts right now. They, since 2019, have not bought any new equipment. And so we're trying to upgrade the equipment while we're trying to pay the current bills. And we're going to try to upgrade the website. So a lot of work to be done, but that's 14 dental operatories or chairs and a building that has the opportunity to provide community education, mentorship, services, where it's the only program on the Navajo Nation that provides braces. And that's an important portion of giving a person the confidence that they might need, and educate about brushing and while they have the braces on. So, I may not be able to keep it open, but I want to give it the try that, to hopefully 2 years from now, I can look back and say, it was worth it. We kept the program open and going.
Well, you really are a hero. I mean, and you mentioned others that have helped you, but that is very, very admirable what you're doing. And I can almost imagine, because we do know that the numbers that came out of the Navajo Nation during the COVID-19 pandemic were just horrendous in terms of in Indian country. It was kind of the epicenter. And so talk about some of those needs that exist on Navajo in terms of oral hygiene and dental care.
The American Indian Alaska Native have 3 times the dental disease rate compared to the general population. That's in general. And I've been doing dentistry for 37 years and have been a clinical director of program in the Indian Health Service. And every year I went to a conference and to share, to gain the information from the Indian Health Service about the dental disease rate among American Indians, Alaska Natives. And it was still the same, 3 times the dental disease rate compared to the general population. And the recent Society of American Indian Dentists meeting that I went to, the same thing, 3 times the dental disease rate compared to the general population. So it has not improved. And I think the Indian Health Service is, it's funded to fail. The amount of money that's needed and to attract providers to the Indian Health Service, or even to the areas that are needed, like where I'm at right now, Shiprock, New Mexico. They need more providers, and you have to have money to pay those providers. So right now it's an uphill battle right now.
Yeah, well, hopefully some of our viewers will watch this episode of Native Bidaské and maybe write their congressman, or maybe they're tied with foundations. Funding is always essential, and to really improve. And that's I'll say it this way: the Creator's given us such a limited time on Earth, and if we can make a difference to move that needle to make improvements, that's really what's needed. Well, Dr. Sorrell, I want to thank you so much. This has been very, very enlightening to our viewers, and accenting the problems of dental care on the Navajo Nation and across Indian country, and the idea that you're out there doing it after you retired. I just take my hat off to you and say, Chi Miigwech, keep up the great work you're doing. And I hope to, next time I go to the SED conference, meet you face to face. And I look forward to that. So thank you very much, Chi Miigwech.
I appreciate it. And and I hope that the rest of your day goes really well. And just FYI, Najoni Smiles does have a donation button for those who feel inclined. And it definitely would help at this point in time. And so I appreciate having the opportunity. And I appreciate what you're doing, Levi, in exposing American Indians to the nation at large, and the information about American Indians, Alaska Natives, to the nation at large. I mean, that doesn't always get exposed. So I appreciate that. Appreciate your work.
Thank you. And to our viewers, Chi Miigwech, thank you for another, turning into another edition of Native Bidaské. We'll be back next week with a very special guest. And it's summertime. Enjoy the summer, but take care of yourself. Please be safe. Chimigwech.
Thank you to our platinum sponsor, the American Dental Association. If you appreciate what we do here at Native News Online, we invite you to donate to support our continued work covering Indian country. You can scan this code with your smartphone or go to the link located below this video to donate today. We greatly appreciate your support. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And be sure to scan this code or go to the link below to subscribe to our newsletter. Thank you for joining us today, and please be sure to join us again next week for another episode of Native Bidaské. Chimigwech.